in 3, 2, 1. We're already live anyway. I just did the little intro screen to make it. So,
world.
you're here. You made it.
I made it.
All the way from southern Canada. Holy cow.
Yeah, southern Canada.
I know. I was just like, So everyone, Rianne, everyone.
Hello.
That's the only time we pay attention to the camera.
Yes, that's it.
Other than that, I don't really worry about it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, let them go.
Yes.
Yeah. So how was your trek across the frozen tundra?
Well, yeah, coming from northeast to southwest.
And this is not a small city.
Well,
Holy
unusual
cow.
for Houston.
Yeah.
Because the traffic is terrible here.
Yeah.
Especially downtown. It was pretty nice. It was just a 45-minute drive. So not so bad as I thought.
Well, here in Houston, 45 minutes really isn't that bad.
Yes.
If you go to smaller towns, like go to like
Like,
Tucson
what?
or go, they're like 45 minutes. Like, what? They're like, I can get to the whole another state in 45 minutes. I'm like, get out here. not Houston.
Yeah. Like I'm from Ecuador, so the country is small.
Mm-hmm.
The city is small. And when you talk about 45 minutes, it's like, what?
Yeah.
But we're used to it here in Houston. My mother came here and she fell asleep from, I think, downtown to home. It was just like
It's 15 minutes. Yeah.
a trip for her.
Which is awesome.
No, yeah,
Yes.
it is funny. But I love Houston.
No, it's a cool town. Yeah, we were talking as far as like the diversity of this town and everything that Houston has to offer.
Yes.
And I mean, it's just everything from different businesses to economies to industry to this. I mean, it's a cool deal.
Yes, yeah. I've met people from all backgrounds, cultures, and it's very interesting.
Yeah.
And the food. Oh my God.
Oh, the food is what. Here, move this a lot. Yeah, right up to there. Yeah,
Little
like it's family.
here. Right there.
Yes. So you want to, yeah. Well, and you don't have to.
Yeah.
But this is like, see, it's your mother. You're telling your mother a story at night and
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I can whisper. Yeah.
So we were getting the instruction from the producer offsite that was to bring your mic up.
Oh.
Yeah. See,
Oh,
you didn't know that we have people watching from above.
the Watchers.
Yes.
Okay, I think I'm
Yeah.
cool
That was
now.
a good book. Did you read that book?
No,
The Watchers?
no.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Plug.
probably-
Sorry. Plug. What watch the Watchers? It was good. It's really. I think there's TV version too. I'm not sure.
I think I've heard.
Movie
I
version.
Think, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
The Watchers. I've
So do that.
saw
It's
The
easier.
Watcher with
Well,
Keanu Reeves.
There is the Watcher, but no, not that one.
I think it
Watchers.
was with
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
The
that's
Watcher.
fine. Yeah, it's
no. It was.
silly science stuff, but whatever, in this. So one of the main reasons you hear is Line Killer.
Yes.
Okay, so we gotta say, this to Derek, or what was it?
I don't know how to do it. I don't want to do it.
There
'cause
was
I
the
don't-
thing or
yes,
something.
That's not me. That's Regina. I can't do that because I try to do it and it look horrible. And I don't know.
It just the first time she did it was a high five and the thing, and I'm
I
like,
don't know.
I was like, whoa, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
Not me.
I know.
I tried. I couldn't.
I know.
I failed.
See,
I mean, they're every day. I mean, most of the weekends shooting.
Yeah.
So she knows how to do it. I was once, so I don't know. I couldn't learn it.
And to poke Regina, it's like when she does, like, I think that's Regina's thing. Maybe not the whole thing. I think maybe she did that. I think she's.
I
Yeah.
saw her doing it, so I don't know. And,
I don't know.
And Derek, so they
If
both are.
we see it, guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty as charged. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So how was it? So was that your first film here in America?
Feature film, yes. In America, yes.
Okay.
And that was very. Meeting Derek, it was very nice, and the cast and
Yeah.
the crew, everybody. I was gonna say in Spanish, la verdad. To be honest, sometimes my cables can say.
Yeah. I know.
Spanglish.
Good.
But yeah, it was very nice. It was a very great experience, especially because when I learned what the film was about, I really wanted to be in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
So
it
yes.
was I hear a lot because I haven't seen anything. Derek, I haven't seen anything. Okay, that was for him because I know he'll probably be watching a little
Yes,
bit.
yes.
Send me clips, please. I'd like to see clips. Look, no. Okay, no. So of the people I've communicated with in the film, because I chat with people off
Yes.
On social media as well. Everybody says how appropriately intense emotionally intense it is, but it's very appropriate. So it's not like it's over the top and this stuff, but it was very emotionally intense.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, being in there too. I have a very intense scene with Regina. I think was one of the most scenes.
Yeah.
It was very. I felt everything. She's a great actress. She's amazing. So it was very nice working with her.
Yeah.
And so she make you feel what you're looking into her eyes, and you feel it. You become whatever you're playing. Because I was playing my role was the group leader of women who have been victims of domestic violence.
Which we're going to talk on later.
Yes.
Yes.
So yes.
Yes.
So I originally auditioned for another role, which was the owner of the gym where the lead character was staying at. But I also was asked to perform a monologue of an abused woman.
Okay.
And so I actually wrote my mother's one of the worst real scenes of my mother's, because my mother was victim. I will talk about it later.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but that was very intense. But it wasn't picked for that one. I was picked for the lead, the group leader.
Okay.
And I really took my role seriously.
Yeah.
And I really feel like I was helping her character in a way of helping even as a professional psychologist I supposedly was or something. I felt it. So it was really nice.
It's good. Okay, so
I helped her.
Quick plug. Okay, because people are gonna be like, "What's the accent?" Right? And you told me people mistake you for being Russian earlier, so we have to clear this. You're not Russian.
Yes.
Right? You're from Ecuador.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I used to get that before.
Yeah.
So, because the thing is that I came to the United States 18 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I came with a friend. I have family in the States. My dad used to live in Chicago. Which I used to say Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah, I'm Chicago now. Kind of like try to say it the right way.
Well, being Latino, you have to say Chicago.
Chicago,
That's, it's mandatory.
So, yes. And my grandmother lived there too. I have family there. My grandmother is buried in Chicago. Okay. And, but I came to Houston with a friend of mine. She had a boyfriend from Israel. And yes, so...
That'll mix up the accents.
She had, yes. So he had lots of friends from Israel. Mm-hmm. And so I was just listening Hebrew all the time. So I learned Hebrew before I learned English. Now I forgot because I haven't been with my friends. So,
so
they have the R, which is like, you know.
It's like a gargle.
Kind of yes. So, which is the resh. I don't even know. Like, Rianne, for example. They say I sound French. Yeah.
It's a little more French, but...
The Israelis said you sound French when you speak Hebrew. Like with a French accent. I was like, okay, I take that.
We trying to roll the R and gargle the R at the same time, but you know, it is.
But I used to probably say probably instead of probably, or my name Rianne in English. In Spanish is Rianne.
Yeah.
So I probably, kind of use that R, I guess. I don't know, because I haven't been recording myself when I
yeah, you should do that. We'll play this back for you later.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's good.
But before, it was a very heavy accent. Very, very heavy accent. So people would say, ask me if I was from Russia. Like straight. People who would not know me. Like, let's say I'm going to a store and I start talking to someone else. Are you from Russia?
Look, hey, you got the R right there. That was good. You said Russia and then Russia. This was good. I like,
Russia.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm not Russian. But I can be Russian if you want.
See, that's your next role.
Yeah.
Like you could be the assassin, the Russian assassin or something, right?
I
we have those. Yeah.
Try to talk like with different accents too.
See.
Yes.
Confuse the people.
Yes.
I think you should constantly.
Well, you're right.
Maybe wear a French shirt and then Russian accent.
Well, like French.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well. And then you said you sing a little bit. Did you sing for the film?
No.
No. Did you sing for the group?
No.
Nothing. No singing for the people.
No.
Singing
for the people.
Yeah. And you don't have to sing here. We don't have the right mic for the singing.
No. I'll be prepare for it.
Look at you all. No. Lemon water, please. We'll get there. Yeah. So, but with the film, you primarily with the when you say the group, the leader of the group, it's like group therapy.
Yes.
Right. So did you have to dive? How much did you have to dive into the sort of the domestic violence situation in that group, like to play it? And
Well, I was assigned when we went to the table reading. That was the first time I obviously I had my script.
Yeah.
And to read everything else, it was in the reading. You kind of know the story of that day, so I was just imagining myself as a kind of like psychologist.
Yeah.
I didn't do research about it because I felt like I was more of a person who has overcome that.
Yeah.
And so now the group leader helping others.
Oh, I see. Yes. Yeah.
So, but it was kind of like, while I was there, though, I felt like more of a psychologist.
Yeah.
So I started analyzing actually, I was writing everybody's, they didn't know. I was just looking at them. They were sitting, their faces, everything. I was looking at them, and then I wrote, so she has overcome already. She's happy. So
you have your clinical notes.
I have a clipboard. So I was writing awesome. Everybody. So at the end, I was telling them how I felt they were progressing, and Regina is not talking yet. She's shy. I mean, that was Noelle. Noelle is not talking. I don't make up names there too because some of them were just there, but they didn't have a speaking role.
Yeah. Okay.
And mostly emotions.
Yes.
So I was just writing based on their emotions. She's angry at life.
At life, yes. It's okay. Give her the life participation ribbon. Here's your ribbon for life.
So I would stay in character for the most part, try to.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy, I felt like I was helping the other character.
Yeah.
Like in the sense of she's acting, but her character is suffering. So it's my role to help that character.
Yeah.
So I really, because she made me feel it, and I felt that. You have to see it. It's a very intense scene.
I'm waiting to see it. I want to see it.
Yes. You have to see it.
I'm waiting. This whole we gotta get it.
Yeah, but that's what I did. But I got it into it.
Yeah,
just
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you were sharing with me that you kind of took a step away from acting for a little while.
Yes.
And then you're really starting to kind of get back into it.
That is correct.
Playing with a little bit of YouTube channel and playing with a little bit of this, trying to find your way.
Yes, I really want to do more film.
Yeah.
I really enjoy acting, being somebody else.
Yeah.
It's
you were part of a theater group before, though, right?
Yes.
And then
in Spanish.
How was that? How did you compare the two? Because you say you like film more.
Well,
is it because you can mess up in film?
It's funny because
no, this is like
you can't. I messed up. So this is I was in a play. It was I don't know how to translate in English this, but it's like about a woman who was an Indian, the chief Indian.
Yeah.
It was blonde, and it was a tribe only of blonde Indians.
Okay.
And or natives.
Okay.
And from Mexico town.
Okay.
Mexican town. It was in Spanish.
Yes.
And this guy, he left home and he got lost. He was kind of like a person who does investigation of behaviors and those things, and he went to this tribe and found out about it, but he was captured by this woman. Only woman. They see one king.
The Amazonian women, the whole yes.
So, well, anyway, he left back to his house, and I went after him because I was the chief, like my character, and I had a knife here, and when I was supposed to attack the wife, I went to the back of the stage. Mm-hmm. I went backstage but some blood here, some extra things there. And when I came back, I left my knife there, and
so you're coming back.
I'm coming back, and I was like, hey, like I lost my guns, But you have to act immediately, do something. So I was like,
you attack.
Yes.
See.
So and also the other actress, she felt that she had to change the dialogue. So she adjusted pretty well. So.
Yeah. Well, she couldn't scream knife if there's no knife.
No, she was going to use that word.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like cuchillera, which means like knife killer, kind of
Yeah.
something like that. And I just was like, and she was like, oh, this savage woman or something, you know. But it went good.
Savage.
Savage, wild.
But you like
savage.
film better than theater, yeah?
I like it more because you get to more audience, you know, a broad audience.
Yeah.
You can touch more hearts,
True.
and one of the things that I like to do in life, my goal.
Mm.
So I'm an actress, I'm a personal trainer in the fitness industry too, and I'm a speaker, Spanish speaker.
Mm.
So my goal is to share a positive message
Yeah.
to my audience in either field, through acting, through speaking, or fitness.
Yeah.
I help a lot of people in fitness, and I really enjoy that. They have come to me and say, "Oh, you changed my life."
Yes, that feels good.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that really does feel
Yes.
good.
And it helped me too, because while I was going through divorce, because I'm divorced, I was working out. I decided to get a personal trainer, and so that really changed my life. Basically,
It does. I mean, I'm not telling
helps.
that everyone needs to go get a personal trainer, but if you don't know, please go get a personal trainer.
Yes. Yeah.
It just helps so
It
much.
challenges you, because sometimes when you're by yourself, you do as much as your body can, but you don't push yourself.
Yeah.
And when somebody's pushing you, you realize how strong you are,
Mm-hmm.
because everything is here, and you change your body and you change your mind too.
Yes.
You become somebody else. You become stronger.
Confidence
So,
up.
yeah.
Okay, so I
Yes.
have to ask this. Okay, so I have to be honest. I was kind of like, I kind of giggled a little bit when I saw it. I was like, oh, rent a Spanish speaker.
Yeah.
I saw it. I was like, just a little bit, because I was like, we did what? I tried to look. So it's awesome. I like it. But it was just when I saw that, I was like,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So I don't know, but what? So I've already got a couple of people messaging me because I put the thing on there.
Yeah.
What is rent a Spanish speaker? Because you founded it, so it's like it's your deal.
Yes. Well, I was in this expo, and I saw a group of panels. It was a Hispanic Chamber of Commerce expo
Mhm.
and Women's Expo, and they had panelists that are successful, and they shared their stories in different fields, so they inspire you. One of them said, "Necessity is the mother of all inventions." And at the time, I was going through divorce, and I was thinking, what am I going to do after? I need to find something, because for me, it's going to be hard to go ask for a job, and then being my background has a lot of work before in different fields,
Yeah.
but not so much in the United States. So it was hard for me to
Mhm.
bring a resume. So I said, I'm going to find out something. So one day I was thinking about ideas, and that came up. And so I said, because I was thinking there's a business called Rent a Server.
Yes.
So I'm like, I like
Really
that.
good.
That's a great idea. So I said, rent a Spanish speaker.
I
They
just-
can rent me because I speak Spanish. I have a background in I have knowledge, not that I know like the ins and outs, but I have knowledge of safety leadership.
Yes.
So my ex-husband, he is a pilot,
Okay.
and so safety is
Huge.
very important, very huge. So we had a company together that was about consulting for a safety leadership consulting firm. So I learned a lot then,
Yeah.
and so I decided to approach that area. A lot of companies, they have somebody who speaks Spanish but is not very good at Spanish,
Mhm.
and so when they're speaking, they probably would say something that the audience, who mostly usually speak Spanish, sometimes in many companies where there are employees that work in factories, for example,
Yeah.
most of them speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And safety is very important. You don't want lawsuits. You don't want to have
No.
anybody injured. You want them to get the message. So if you speak Spanish and you get the message clear, they will understand. Sometimes when somebody is like, happens to me, it has happened to me when I try to convey my message, people get lost because of my accent.
Right.
Sometimes it happens.
Yes.
So I don't want that to happen to anybody, the Spanish. And so I decided, I said, okay, I'm going to save a lot of money for these companies.
Mhm.
First, helping their employees to get the message clear. Second, I can do voiceovers too if they have a video, safety video. So I can do it in Spanish. And I decided that it's going to be easier because they rent me. They don't have to hire me.
Right.
They don't have to pay for benefits. They don't have to pay me for, it's just a project basis.
Yeah.
So I said, this is a win-win situation. I help them. They help me. And everybody is happy.
No, it's all, but it's good. It was just you're like, don't do the, see,
No,
I
this
saw it
mine is
almost happen.
gay. No. Mine is,
It was, but I saw that and I was like, oh, that's awesome. I was like, that's kind of cool.
But I can do in any business because
Yeah.
some businesses want to open their market to Latin America, for example.
Yeah.
If they want to do a presentation and they want somebody in a video that speaks or in a voiceover that speaks Spanish and does the presentation for them, it can also help them with that.
Yeah.
So it's in any field, basically. But one of the most that I like is the safety.
Well, it's your thing. I
leadership.
mean, it's your deal.
Yes.
And then you went to school for graphic design
yes.
as well.
Yes.
See,
yes.
you.
Yeah, I have an artistic side in me. Like, well, a lot.
Look at.
Yes, it's my family from my father's side. They're all artistic.
Okay.
It's really nice to see that. Either they're singers.
Yeah.
I have one that is a poet and is a sculpture painter. So
Oh, so
that's
all,
a
not
lot of
just
yes.
one medium, everything.
Yeah, and
Wow,
so
yeah.
it's interesting, to see that. And
Yeah.
so my brother is very artistic too. I wish he is very good at graphic design. Better, I will say he's better than me. I have to say
Wow.
that.
Yeah.
I have to say, I admire
Well,
him.
he just does it more. That's the only reason.
He's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
If you did more practice, you'll beat him. It's good. We know the
but-
truth.
But we also are good in acting too, both of us. My older brother, and
yeah.
I. And so with voices, my younger brother does too. We like to do voices and goofy voices and things. Do
Yeah.
everything.
See, so I was telling Regina when she was here, she needs to do the kids' books or kids' things, right? So then you guys could do you and your brother can do the voiceovers.
So I
You do the voices. See,
yes, I've been thinking about.
I'm
we've
building
been
a
thinking
team
about-
here. You see that already? I'm making
We
a
have
team.
that idea. The problem is that we're not. He's in another country, and I'm here.
That's
and
okay.
so
We have
it's-
internet.
I know.
See, the
Yeah.
world is only this big. Look, it's
Sometimes
all-
the internet connection that he has is not so good. So to transfer
Yeah.
files is that's our
Oh,
only
okay.
challenge. But we've talked about it
Yeah.
because we were thinking about doing voiceovers and get scenes and
Yeah.
do it.
See,
Yeah.
I think that this is me. I'm plugging businesses because I can't do this.
Yes.
I really think that would be an amazing YouTube channel, is to have people read children's books,
Mm-hmm.
because all these kids are being babysat by the devices,
Yes.
tablets and phones and all
that's-
these
yeah.
things, and that even YouTube has YouTube Kids. It's a
Mhm.
different app, right? Only for kids only. Is that why aren't people reading books in a very creative way to children via YouTube?
Yeah.
Because if the parents are not going to read it,
Somebody.
and they're
can
going to
do it.
give the device, you're reading to the kids, right? I mean, it makes
Yeah.
sense. See, so I want somebody to do that. I can't do
Hmm.
it. I'm not creative enough.
Yeah, that's
I
a
can't.
great
I don't
idea.
have enough range of voices. I've got like
Oh, I can
2
do it.
voices.
There was a time.
See, See, but right,
Hey, mommy.
you could do the whole, and it's just, you don't even have to be on. I mean, you could just be the book. So you could be, whatever. But see, do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can be their very good friend.
You could be the next. You could be Twinkle Twinkle Little,
Yeah,
whatever
can
the things, but yeah.
I can be the precious.
Oh, Spiegel, yeah. See, but right, I'm telling you, I think it would be good. I think kids would. I think maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
and
know.
I can
I
do
could be
that
wrong.
like
Scare him. Halloween is right around the corner. What are you waiting for? It was like shut the show down. You could do some. You need to do some voiceovers.
This is the first time I've done this.
Yeah, look at you.
Like the voices live. Yeah,
Yeah, there's no editing that out.
I know.
It's there for the world forever.
Yes.
See,
Good.
This is the first
Oh.
sampling of your new YouTube
Me.
channel.
Yeah.
But seriously, and I mean, and if your family's good at that, if your brother's good at it, you guys, it's just audio. So audio is
Yes.
not that big of files.
Yeah.
Then you can send it back and forth, and you can edit it here and put it all together.
Yeah. And
I think that would be awesome. Cat in the
Yeah, me
Hat
too.
stuff and all the, like all the traditional, right?
It can be
You do
small
English
videos.
and English
It
and
doesn't
Spanish.
have to be long.
No, well, it depends on the book, right? Obviously, I mean, because some could be maybe 7, 8, 9 minutes, but
Yeah.
most children's books, 4 or 5 minutes, perfect video length.
Yeah, that's true.
See,
Go to sleep.
right?
talk like that.
Yeah. So you start loud, and minute 1 you're like this, and then minute 3 you're like
Yes.
this, and minute 1 you're whispering at the end. Like, honk.
Good night.
Oh man,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
people would pay for that.
Okay.
You can put my child to sleep in 5 minutes. Yes. Like, oh, you know, you'd eat some millions and millions of channel of hits. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I think, yeah. See, think.
I got it.
Yeah.
So nobody is going to steal that idea, please.
See, we said it to the world, so now you have to do it fast.
Yes.
You can't hesitate.
Have
'cause
to hurry.
Right. And I don't know. I mean, somebody may be doing it. I just, you know, we've got children. I've never heard of it.
Yeah. I think when in Spanish they see songs. I've seen
Yeah,
just songs. and
Tons
stuff
of
like that,
songs. Nursery rhyme,
But I've
nursery
never-
song,
yes.
nursery song, nursery. And I'm like, no. Read to these kids.
Yeah.
I think it's better.
Yeah, I've been thinking with a friend. She's a painter. So I used to live by a little kind of a lake with ducks. So have you seen ducks' behavior?
A decent amount, not
Okay.
too long, but a decent amount.
So
yeah.
this is a story. I live in the house where behind was the lake,
Mhm.
and the wall behind our house is a brick house, brick wall,
Mhm.
and so there's the ducks. Everywhere the Muscovy ducks and geese.
Oh, geese are mean.
Yes, and the geese were like bodyguards.
Yeah.
Of the Muscovy ducks. That was weird. So I saw this duck. She was walking by around. There was like a pot on the ground that was inverted. So I didn't know she had her eggs in there, laid her eggs there. I didn't know
Oh, okay.
until one day I was walking out and then I saw her pick out like here,
Out of the
oops.
pot. Just to sit.
just like that. And then I let her be in there. I didn't know what to do. I just,
Yeah.
And she was mean too, 'cause like, don't get closer. So
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
okay. She was scared the gardener.
Yeah.
And one day, well, her eggs hatched, and you see their little chicks there, and it was so sweet. One died. I was so sad.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And then I was trying to get her out, and I didn't know how to, because she had to go from the front door, because she could not cross the
The wall. Yeah.
wall. So how am I gonna get her out? That was hard. So I had to
Oh,
open. There was
no.
a fence, an iron fence gate.
Yeah.
So
Kind of shoo them.
and then her chicks went cross the gate, but she didn't. So she didn't know how to do it. So I opened it for her, and she got scared, and she just flew over. And then she was
okay,
like,
good.
and then I
Yeah.
immediately closed the door.
Yeah.
Then she turned around, and she looked at me like, she stared at me like, did you really kick me out of your house?
You're like,
For real,
yes,
I
I did.
swear she did that.
Uh,
Okay, so with my ex and I decided to close that pot
Yeah.
with a net.
Yeah.
And so, like a few months later, we saw. I don't know if it was the same one or another one, but that one was walking around, like kind of like this was the address they gave me.
Yeah, because it's,
like
yes.
that. She was
Where did it go? Yes. with the-
it's here. I know it's here. Am I confused? She will look around and around, and I'm like, okay. And then the geese were in the kind of a pillar on top of the wall and the brick wall.
Mhm.
They will stand 1, 2, 3, and if somebody comes, they will be like,
They guarding everything.
yes.
Geese are mean. They will
Yes.
chase you, and they do the whole. I'm like,
So then one day I didn't know how to scare them because they were like trying to find a place to lay their eggs, and I don't want that anymore.
Right.
Once it's okay,
yeah.
but not all the
No,
time.
no.
So I I put in it was just a coincidence, a yellow neon jacket. It was cold, so I went outside. I went like this.
No, you did. They're gone.
And I scared them, and they never came back.
You have found something. You have found the ultimate geese
So,
deterrent.
Yes.
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 You're
I'm like flying.
In a bright yellow jacket.
Yeah.
These four things.
So yeah. But then I've seen their behavior. Sometimes they're in pairs, and like I said, there's a Muscovy dog, and sometimes they're behind that Muscovy dog, like bodyguards,
That's crazy.
or they're in corners like gangs, and
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing, what they're talking about, but they just walk. They go by houses too. Sometimes it's really funny. So once I said I'm going to do that one day, because I've been thinking about it. The weather is not being helpful. Then it was too cold, and
yeah.
anyway, so I want to record them. And I wanted my friend to paint them, like
Yeah.
make a story about it. But I thought about recording them and make a story of those,
Yeah,
like,
that would be fun.
because they are really funny. If
Yeah.
you see them, I mean, you can there. I wonder what's in their head, because
I
it's
know,
like
yeah.
they're talking.
Yeah.
They
Well,
gather,
they're communicating somehow.
they gather, and they just, like I said, in gangs, and then sometimes it's the Muscovy dog, and they're like bodyguards by two.
Yeah.
She's or he is ahead, and they're behind. It's really funny.
I don't. Maybe they're watching TV, like presidential tours or something. They learned something, but that's hilarious. Yeah.
It is funny to see
Yeah.
that. It's very interesting.
Probably like geese. I mean, I'm not scared of a goose, but they start chasing you. I'm like, I don't want that thing pecking at me.
Well, we're
that thing in the.
you know what to do. Wear a yellow.
Now I know.
yellow neon jacket.
Like a yellow poncho and like, because they wrap up. They wrap up so tight. Yeah. I'll scare you. I've got the thing now. I'm gonna eat the yellow poncho and it's on.
Yeah. It will scare them.
People get yes.
I'm like, go on.
And then we're good. Picnic anywhere, whatever we want. We're safe. I was
Yes.
like, yeah, we'll get it.
Just open your arms like you're a big bird.
I know. We'll get,
Yes.
yeah. It's
A
like,
big bird from Sesame Street.
that's the trick. I just go down to the theater shop. I'll rent a Big Bird costume. I'm good.
Yeah.
Have to do it in winter though. It's too hot right now. Holy moly, it's too hot right now.
Oh, yes. Hot.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
I know. It's like. So what projects? What do you have coming up?
Well, right now I'm just trying to focus on personal training.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's also a thing I do.
Yeah.
And just looking for another opportunity.
Yeah.
Maybe I will. Well, I can't wait for the Lion Killer to come out too. So,
Soon,
but
Derek.
yes, soon.
Soon.
But I've been thinking. Well, I have to submit more to. My agency has been slow lately.
It's a slow time of
But
year anyway. But
Yes,
right. Yeah.
yes. So I have to look for myself to,
Yeah.
find my own gigs and stuff, because it's always like that. It works
Yes.
like that. It's not like magic. Your agency is gonna find everything. It doesn't happen that way. You have to do your homework too.
Yes.
So yeah. But I think in next month, or maybe because I know the season right now is really hard, and then in January everybody's preparing for pilot season
Yeah.
too. So
Exactly. Well, because it's
That's-
usually, because they work on the October financial side. So it's like as soon as October hits, because right now everybody's out of money.
yes.
This is the worst. September's the worst month for anything,
Yes,
because
yes.
their all budgets are all gone.
Yeah.
So then October they switch over more budgets in. So auditions go up in
Yeah.
November and September.
They start
I mean,
working right now
November,
for
December.
because they used to do more commercial
Yeah.
jobs before, and so that's why so one of the things is funny. When I came to the United States and I didn't speak English very well, I became a shy person.
Of
Very
course, because you
shy.
can't
Yes,
communicate, right?
couldn't, and so even in Spanish, so that was hard. It was a time that I could not believe what was going on, what was happening. But
Yeah.
if I was in front of a camera, it was a different person.
Yeah.
But I was very shy. I could not speak in public for a while.
Oh,
Being a
wow.
public speaker, because
Yeah.
I was a public speaker since I was 5 or 6.
Oh, okay. So you've been in front of people that long. That's
yes,
awesome.
the largest audience I had was when I was 9. It was like 1,000 people.
That's
when
awesome.
I had that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so becoming from that, I was so worried about what's going on with me. Why I'm so shy.
Yeah.
So I went to acting classes, and that helped me a lot. That was the thing that made me come out of that shell.
Yeah.
And because my coach would be telling me, don't think too much. Don't worry about your accent. Embrace it.
Yeah.
Don't think about it. You're thinking too much about it. So that helped me a lot. And that's why I became a monster.
No, yeah. Well, 'cause what people don't know is it is very different being on a stage in front of thousands of people to even this
Yes.
or whatever at a restaurant with 3 people or 4 people and things like that. Social setting, a bar or whatever, a
Yes.
gala or any of those types of
Mhm.
things. And those, when you get into that intimate relation or communication style, it's very different than being on stage. Very, very different. Like this, I'm great you could put me in front of 10 million people. I'm great. That casual conversation type stuff, I'm horrible. I hate it.
That was me.
I hate it. I hate it.
That was me.
Hate it.
So sometimes I will be in a group of 10 people, let's say, in a yoga class or in the kind of a meditation class. Introduce yourselves. And when my time came, I was like, red.
I did it.
And I didn't know what to say, so I froze. And now, so one of the things that I want to do is take improv classes. That's on my checklist. I haven't taken.
Okay.
And I really think it's for anybody important. Now, I've heard your interview with Regina, and I was that you talked about that. You talked about that, and improv is not only for actors.
No, it's
everybody should take that.
It's life,
and it's not comedy.
Sometimes,
but not only
accidental
I mean,
comedy.
Yeah, it's not only comedy. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah,
it's for everything. So that's one of the things that I think will help me even more.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, that's something, and this is so silly. What I shared with Regina as far as improv there came from when I was younger, doing all the charades, playing charades with different people. You don't want to play with your friends because you can already communicate with people that you're close to and you don't know it.
Yeah.
So you always want to be with strangers, and it increases your ability to communicate with so many people. And then that, because it's a game, people are like, I'm not going to get with strangers and play charades. So go to improv. Because you have script, sort of, you have guidance, you know what you're talking about, and you get to play the same way as like in charades, but more words and more things, but still, Oh, it's so beneficial. I mean, people, I think that should be a mandatory class in junior high and high school here, like just once a week, once a month, that people should have to get in classrooms and have to do that when you're younger, because it teaches so much.
Yes.
So much.
Yes.
Not just acting. It teaches acting. It teaches comedy. It teaches things, but it teaches communication. And it's so awesome.
And not to froze when you're in a, because you can be in an awkward situation and people can ask you something and
you're like, what? Yeah.
It had happened to me when guys had told me something and I was like, and I wanted to be like respond in a proper way, but like in a good way.
That's appropriate too. Just give them a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm like,
you're like, yeah. Don't say all the bad words. Like there's so many.
Yes.
Guys can be turds.
Yeah.
Guys can be bad
sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So especially being English my second language, it reminds me of Sofia Vergara in one of her Modern Family episodes where she said she's so frustrated that she's like, I was smarter in Spanish.
That was a good show. I don't watch a ton of TV, but I know some of those. But Modern Family was
I don't
good.
watch that TV often either, but sometimes I watch that show, and so that was one of them.
Yeah.
And it's true. You have a bigger vocabulary, especially when you're mad.
Yes.
You want to say it?
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. And if they don't know your language, just say it anyway. It's all good. So just get it out.
It's hard.
Yeah. Find peace. Find peace through expression. Get it out with the. What's your favorite Netflix show? What do you watch?
I don't watch Netflix.
No. What?
Yeah.
People know Netflix?
I know.
No.
No.
What do you watch?
So this is the story. This is sad.
No, it's okay.
I'm gonna say it. Yeah. Well, I watched Narcos. That was one of the shows. Because when I was married, I wanted to have Netflix, and something happened with Netflix and me, and we broke up, and
you and Netflix have some hate.
Didn't. So
okay.
But we're okay now.
Okay.
So I've been thinking about it again. I just didn't. I just have to make time to watch. But I've been told about so many good shows that are on now that I really want to watch, and because I really like to see not only the story, but I love to see their acting. Yeah. I learn a lot.
And that's the good, especially the ones that are specific. So Hulu original, Netflix original shows.
Yes.
They're so much better. Yeah. I don't know how or why. You would think, say, okay, well, whatever, Paramount is behind this. It would be really great. No, it's not the case. it's like you get a lower budget. It's like people care more.
Mm-hmm.
They put more into it, and you get a lot more quality acting and more authentic acting.
Yes.
And the originals,
Mm-hmm.
you know, be
Yes.
it Amazon original, Netflix, or whatever, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can even get Netflix free depending on who you have, like your cell phone. Are you Verizon?
No, T-Mobile. T-Mobile does
T-Mobile.
have that too.
They have Netflix too, or Hulu?
Yeah, but you have to
Hulu.
pay still, so it's
Oh,
like it's
so-
free, but you have to pay. So it's the same
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
But no, I have Amazon Prime, so I watch
Yeah.
some there too sometimes. Like to watch old movies too sometimes. I like to watch Spanish movies from there is this director Pedro Almodovar,
Okay.
who is a very if you watch one of his movies, they're very their stories are very weird sometimes,
Okay.
but they're very good.
Okay.
Yeah, his
Kind
one
of like a Quentin Tarantino, that direction, like like
kind of,
eclectic?
but not. Yes, but
Eclectic, yeah.
not as you don't see blood like you see
okay.
with Quentin Tarantino.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he's more like you see
Yeah.
blood splatters and
He likes
stuff
that.
like that. But I really like him because he's different.
Quentin Tarantino, somebody gets a paper cut and the whole room is full of
Yes,
blood. I'm like, I
exactly.
don't understand, but
yeah, he's
okay.
like,
Yeah, but gotcha. Extra red paint. We're
yes,
good. It's
yeah,
like so silly. Yeah.
yes. But no, it's different. But it's this kind of that. It's I like to see that in the acting too.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very intense. You know that guy, No Country for Old Men.
Familiar. I didn't see, but yeah, familiar. Yes.
That he's from Spain and he acts in one of some of his movies too. So
Okay.
he is great. Penelope
Yeah.
Cruz was also
Yeah.
part of Almodovar's cast. So it's very. People should watch
Yeah.
those movies. He has won. I think he won an Oscar. Almodovar a long
Okay.
time ago for a movie, and I think Penelope Cruz was in it.
Okay.
All About My Mother is the name of the movie.
Okay. Sounds
Yes,
familiar.
Yes. No, it's a good, interesting movie.
I'm so bad because I don't watch any of the award shows or any. I
Yeah.
just don't. I'm like, who cares? A bunch of, I'm like, I'm bad.
Yeah.
I don't. So we're like, but it won blah blah Oscars. That doesn't mean it's like I'm bad.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to it. I should, but I don't pay any attention to it. I'm just like,
Yeah. Well, sometimes seems like some films should be there.
Yeah.
And they're not. And like, who does that? Who picks those movies?
that's kind of why I started to
Yes.
not pay attention because I'm like,
yes.
I've never heard of this, or this movie had such a huge budget, it's automatically in. I'm like,
Mhm.
no, just pick the good ones.
Yes.
But in their defense, there's so many movies. How can you watch all the movies and rate them and do these things? You'd have to watch movies 14, 15 hours a day, every day,
Yes.
to be able to see enough to. So
Yeah.
you can't do it. Yeah, it's silly. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who does that, right?
Yeah, some people. I see people binging movies 6-7 hours every day watching shows and this. I'm like, that's crazy.
I didn't read an article, by the way, speaking of binging movies, that Netflix is. I didn't read it. I just saw the headline lines. It says Netflix is separating themselves from the word binge.
How are they going to do that? That's what they do. You even go there. Until recently, binge-worthy series on Netflix. That was a thing. Binge-worthy.
Wow.
Well, how are they going to get away from binge? They cannot get away from binge.
Because you start seeing one and you want to see the next one and the next one, and again you can stop. You get hooked.
Yes. And we're bad like because I watched all the Marvel ones, obviously. So
Yeah.
the Iron Fist had come out, and we didn't start until last night.
Huh.
So it's like you watch one, and I'm like, it's late. It auto started the second one. You just have to watch the next one, and it's so you get trapped into that
Yes.
loop.
What is your favorite show now on Netflix?
I'm just because we're watching Iron Fist now. I'm so mad at that show. Iron Fist was one of my favorite characters growing up, right?
Huh.
My favorite comic book character.
Yeah.
Him and Wolverine, my two favorites.
Yes.
Iron Fist is a badass in the comic book. I mean, immortal Iron Fist. Immortal Iron Fist. This show makes me so mad. He is not really immortal, and he's not really badass, and he's kind of a sissy, and I'm like,
Oh.
I am not liking this at all. His kung fu sucks.
Oh no.
I'm very upset with the whole
That's
thing.
like if you were a kid, you would be crying.
Yeah, I would be mad. I'd be like, who is this? This is Iron Fist, like weak little
The weak
runt
version.
brother or something. I don't know what I was so mad.
Oh.
But yeah. But I bet like I watch all of those. I watch Netflix has a bunch of series where they dive into. They have one that's called Explained.
Uh-huh.
So they dive into a bunch of things, tattoo stuff, like why do people get tattoos and the history of that and things. Different. They go into the mind of criminals for one episode. These are all like 20, 30 minute long, so they're short.
Mm-hmm.
They went into one recently that was. There's two series. I think this one is explained. I'll say it's explained. People will know. There's a graphic designer, famous, who is in her mid 60s. I just went blank on her name because I suck with names. But who is all about typography, logos, type, fonts, and all these things.
Oh, that's me.
And how she's gone through her whole career and done everything from the public theaters in New York and rebranded things and done all this stuff and how she does it and why. And she shows her sketchbooks. So like if something's picked up by like the public theater in New York, so it's multiple theaters in one, she catalogs all of her sketches. So once she signs something and there's a big deal that's signed and it actually gets done, she keeps all her sketches and they go into books. So she's got all these books of all of her sketches and what they led to and the progression of them. And she's showing some of these things and what she does. And like that type of stuff, I love that because I feel like I learn.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of like typography and fonts, and any graphic designer is going to gravitate to this. But you look at it and you're like, well, why this font? Why this? And so one of many they talked about with her was the Citibank rebranding, because Citibank and Travelers merged. So the new one, it's CITI with the little red thing going from the two I's. It goes over the lowercase t. Well, that's the Travelers umbrella combined with the Citibank deal. And like there was a reason for all those things that is a true merger of the two logos and two companies and how and why the font and why the thickness and why the colors. It was just, I just love that type of stuff.
So I'm going to look for the designer of that and I'll find her name.
Yes.
'Cause I must see that.
Yeah, I'll pull it up and when we're done, I'll pull it up and it's right there. But because I just go history and it's there. But that type of stuff on Netflix, that's what I like. More documentary than shows, because I want to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to watch documentaries too.
Yeah, and there's a few that are really good. Hulu, they need to step their game up. Hulu is not doing very good right now.
Hulu is doing their own productions too.
I know, and I don't like them too much.
No.
I'm not real happy. They'll get there though. They're just behind.
I'm watching on Amazon. I watched Goliath just because I started watching that one because one of my friends that lived here in Houston, he's in that the first season.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, he moved to LA. He's now doing his thing there.
He's big time now.
Yeah, because he got a role in The Walking Dead season 1.
Oh, okay.
And so it was if you watch that show, his character was Morales. Yeah. Yeah, and then he came back recently, so everyone was like, "Wow, who's Morales?" And that was him.
You're like, that's my friend.
But he the way he came back was really interesting. But anyway, he was in this Goliath, and I really like Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah,
he's a very great actor.
Yeah.
So in this movie, they could not pick any better actor for that role in this series. So I watched the first one, which was interesting, and the second one I just started watching. So that's the one I watch right now on Amazon. Yeah. But yeah.
See, I haven't dived into Amazon yet because we have it because we have the Firebox for the TV and all that. We don't do traditional cable.
Yeah.
Too expensive, silly. But so every time you turn it on, you get all the new ones, and then there's the Tom Clancy's new one with Jack
Krasinski. Yes.
That one.
I know.
The name.
The one from The Office.
Yes. So it's always up. It's always, every time I come up, that's the main thing on the screen. I'm like, no, later. I can't do it. Yeah, but it's.
Yeah, I saw that. It looks very interesting. That one. Yeah. The one you're saying.
Yeah, I want to see.
I forgot the name too. But yeah.
It's there. It'll come back when I'm not thinking about it. His name, like really, of my whole. I can remember things. Whatever. I have a high IQ. Whatever. All these things. Names. My whole life, I have sucked so bad with names. Literally, people will tell me their name, and before the last syllable is out, I've already forgotten it.
Huh.
I'm horrible. It's horrible.
So I learned a trick to remember names.
So
help, what you do is just think when somebody tells you their name, think of a person that you know. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I try to remember. Sometimes I just it happens sometimes, but most of the time I kind of relate that to someone I know or
Okay.
a famous person, and I repeat it back.
Yeah.
For example, if you tell me Jason, oh, Jason Byrne, like Burn Identity, Jason Byrne.
Right. You got it. Yeah. Hey, if it works.
And so you retain it because
Yeah.
you will think of you as Jason Byrne.
Okay.
And so that's how I remember names.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Or like me. It's funny because my name is Rianne, and I have the when people read it, they read it Rianne.
Yeah.
And sometimes they call me Rianne. I'm used to it. I have friends for life that call me Rianne, or they call me Ryan.
Well, see, I'm not gonna lie, because I saw everything, and Derek had sent me some of your information. He was like, "Hey, yeah, just contact her. She's great, blah blah blah. It's these things, right?" So I'm like, "How do you say her name?" I'm talking to my wife. I'm like, "I don't know her name." I'm like, "Crap, I need to Google videos to get her saying her name, so I know how to say her name."
So my
was
name
horrible.
is funny because my name is Dutch,
Yes.
but they're also in Philippines. Lots of women with my name,
Yeah.
and some people have contacted me from Philippines because before, when I was married, my last name was Garcia because of my ex-husband.
Okay, so they're more Spanish. So now.
My name was very Filipino, Rianne Garcia. So people from Philippines would contact me and ask, "Are you so and so?"
Yeah.
No.
Do you speak Tagalog? No.
Yeah,
All
they would
these
contact
things?
me. Yeah, it happened like 3 times.
Oh, that's
People
funny.
contacted me and asked me if I was anybody from Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my name is my last name is Rivadeneira, which is Spanish.
Yeah.
Some people think it's Portuguese, but it's not because of the neira sound.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe. Yeah.
Rivadeneira. But
Yeah.
for people to remember, especially when I go to auditions, I tell them to think of Robert De Niro, Rivadeneira, Robert De Niro.
Okay, that works.
That's it.
Yeah. All
Riva
right.
De
I
Niro,
like it.
Robert De
See?
Niro.
See?
So you will remember my last name. She was like,
But I know why you picked De Niro, because then now they'll be like, oh, they'll put you with. See?
yeah.
So your status now is.
So I said, I'm Rianne
Smart.
Robert De Niro.
Who? Get the Robert De Niro girl. Get her.
Exactly.
See? I
Yes.
know how it works. That was
So,
smart.
Yes.
That's good.
And when before I got married, I used to book a lot. Just because of that, I guess.
So
because
go
I
back
was
to
kicking,
that. What
No,
is
I'm
this?
back to my last name again.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
Riva
yeah.
De Niro again.
Yeah.
Yes. So
That's how you need to read. That's how you introduce yourself.
yes, Riva.
Yes.
Rianne Robert De Niro.
Yeah, see? Yes, hi. Oh, Paula. Hi, nice to meet you, Paula. I'm the Robert De Niro girl. Robert De Niro girl. You got that? Yes. See, just skip right to it. Forget everything else. Because they're gonna remember. Because they're gonna remember that, right? They're like straight away.
Yes.
Oh, the Robert De Niro girl.
Yes.
See, call her.
Yeah.
Instant. Your phone will ring instantly.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Sure.
If it doesn't, it's still fun. So
Yeah.
it works out. Yeah.
Maybe Robert De Niro will hear this.
You say it enough,
Yeah.
maybe, and he'll be like, "Hey, this is Robert De Niro. You're not my girl. Why do you keep saying that?" And you'd be like, "Now I have you on the phone now. Let's have a talk." See, and then
Yes.
you're good.
And I sent him my last name, and I asked him, "How do you say that?"
Thank you.
See, Robert De Niro. With a B.
You may land something with him with that. You never know. It's worth a shot. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hashtag Robert De Niro.
Yes. Hashtag. You could do a little 20-second video on how to say your name, and you can tag him and hashtag him.
Yeah.
Get to use it.
Yeah.
It's free publicity.
Because I love Robert De Niro.
He's good, man. He's been around long. He's getting older.
Yeah.
I don't like when actors and actresses get older. I don't like it.
But
I want
that's
them
the
to
good
stay
thing
young.
about acting, because acting doesn't have an age.
No, it doesn't. But I just, like, yeah. Like
Yeah.
Robert De Niro about 10, 12 years ago was my favorite Robert De Niro. Like now he's just older.
He's not doing action movies.
No, he's not really doing much. Just making people mad.
No.
He's being controversial now. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's all. No, it works for him. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So controversy. Okay. So one of the things with the Line Killer that you
Yes.
liked was its awareness for domestic violence.
Yes, that's correct.
And then obviously you shared that touched you close to home because what your mother had to deal with.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's-
really, when I read the breakdown, and I didn't know what it was about, but or it was a little bit of it. But then when Derek asked me to do a monologue
Yeah.
of from the point of view of a woman who was domestically abused, I decided to write a real story.
Yeah.
And tell a story as if I were my mother, and everything was whee.
That had to be hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When I was there. Oh, so this is what happens to me sometimes. It's funny when I go to an audition, like in my classes, if we have the audition class, let's say it was the audition day, we do if we were in a callback or in a first audition for a film, for different settings. I got used to it because I know my coach.
Yeah.
But then when I go to a live audition,
You don't know anyone, right? Exactly.
sometimes like I'm so well prepared, and I'm like, sometimes it's just a line, and I just freeze. It's so weird, and I'm like, okay, and I feel bad because as you are well prepared, you get there, and you think it's going to be in a way, and it's not. So you have to be prepared for it. That's why it's good to take improv. I think it will help me more. But yeah, I was very nervous, and I like that. Derek asked me if I liked it, if I felt comfortable with it. And I was with my first take of one of the roles that I auditioned for. And then for the monologue, because I did the monologue first, he asked me, I did it I was very nervous, but I was feeling it too.
Right.
And I cried and everything. And then he told me, now tell a story, the same story as if you were, if you were telling the story 3 or 5 years later. So you're already healed.
Yeah.
So you feel you're still feeling it, but you are happy that you're not there. So I changed a little bit of the monologue because it was my monologue.
Right.
And he asked me which one I liked more. So I said both. But usually you don't get that from directors or they don't ask you that.
No.
And that was amazing. I mean, I really love working with Derek and B and all the stuff, all the crew members. Everybody was amazing there. I mean, it felt so good.
And that's the nature of a good independent film is you get that. When you start to get those different budgets and time constraints, I shared a little bit of that with you before we were on the show, is they're kind of like, you have this long.
Yes.
And you don't have one day of error. Congratulations, go.
Yeah.
It's stressful.
Yes.
And so when they do auditions and when they do things, they're like, I have to see 300 people for this one role.
Yes.
And I've got 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you get that stale, like, come in, read, go. Come in, read, okay, go. Come next, go. Great, grow. I mean, they're literally just.
Yes.
And so when you do an independent film, they're so much more emotionally invested into it. You get that.
Yeah.
To where they're like, hey, what do you like? Do you feel comfortable with this? Maybe we should increase the range here. Maybe we should make it a little less dramatic. Maybe, what do you think? Like, let's make this you.
Yeah.
Because they have that ability. That's why, I mean, I love independent films. Sometimes they don't have the best like CGI, the best After Effects or the best editing, but the acting's so much better. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've been to other independent films auditions, and it's been like, not the same. I mean, and I've worked with other directors too.
Yeah.
And it was very nice. It was fun. It felt good.
Yeah.
I like when the director feels the actor too, and it's kind of in the standpoint of an actor is not being because if the director is overwhelmed and it will overwhelm the actor too.
Yes, always.
And then they will be like, and they will have to repeat it.
Everyone is just.
Yes. So it was very nice, very good.
So I'll make you think. Your opinion on like the whole Me Too movement. You've seen this, right? Because this obviously with the Harvey Weinstein thing, that's a sexual abuse thing, which isn't necessarily purely domestic abuse.
Yes.
But they overlap, and they've all been grouped into the same thing. So the Me Too movement isn't just about sexual abuse or sexual misconduct. It is also domestic abuse and domestic misconduct and things of that nature. So it's all grouped. Yeah, everything has been merged into one movement going forward. So like I like I think it was overblown. This is me. Okay, so coming from the guy's perspective, it's always different, right?
Yes.
And I feel like it was overblown a little bit because I see so many now, and maybe these were before. I see a lot now to where guys or men or companies are accused of things that didn't happen. And I don't like that, because then people like your mother that it did happen to, it becomes less.
Yes.
It becomes watered down, or it becomes less. And I'm just like, oh, it's harder to hold people accountable that actually do it when there's so many false claims.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, man. So my whole thing in the last few months has been about trying to find ways to stop false claims so we can increase the accountability or discipline when it actually happens.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know, but yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah. Well, I myself, I've been at work, not
Yeah.
here, but well, yeah, here too. Yeah, kind of.
It's
Vic-
it's tough.
for women, sometimes you, especially when you work in when I was jobless in Ecuador at a time, I used to work for the Congress in Ecuador.
Okay.
And every time the congressmen or women finish their period, you go with them.
Yeah.
See, that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe if you have good luck, maybe you are hired by the next one.
Yeah.
But in this case, my then boss, he was kind of kicked out of his chair because a lot of them were part of a corruption thing.
Yeah, a lot, yeah.
So I was left without a job. So I started looking for another job there, and I would get all kinds of things. So I used to go with another girl. Like both of us were in the same position, so we would go together because we didn't want to be told something that we didn't like. And at some point, I remember one congressman told me, well, if you want this job, you have to come with me to trips, you have to come with me to this, you have to go to the events. And it's like an escort kind of a thing. And
I know.
Yeah. And another time I remember, because that was it, I could not find a job there, so I decided to look for ways hustling. I have to find a way. I'm not gonna sit down.
Right.
And I was about 21 at the time, or 21, and very young. And I was selling fabrics for suits. So since I know everybody in the Congress, they would let me in. And so I would go there to some offices too and say, hey, can I just offer you something here? I got the samples. And when I went to a former, kind of like the Speaker of the House, I went to his office and I told him, he was like probably over 65 years old.
Okay.
And I was like 20, in my 20s. And I told him, I've tried this. And he's like, okay, I would buy that for you, but you don't see me as a man. And I'm like, yeah, you're a man,
Yeah, right?
He was looking for and I was like, but you're a man. I was like, it is, no, you don't understand. You don't see me as a man. I'm like, but you're a man. You're not a woman, kind of you're trying to play with that. And I was like, I will buy you the entire thing if you will see me as a man. Yeah. That was so bad. And how do you say that to the, like he's being a pig here with me, and then who's going to believe me?
Yeah.
So it's really hard.
And down there,
really hard.
It's the laws. Being a woman, you're not as protected as here. Not that it's perfect here. It's not perfect here, but you don't have the same legal protections in Ecuador as you do here in America.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, here, it was a case. Probably they would not like me to say this, but the consulate of Ecuador, we used to go there. Now it's fine. Now it's good. Yeah. But then it was a guy who was like very nasty. I mean, you could. It was nasty, and girls would not like to go there because of him. They felt like, but they didn't say anything because he was doing as a favor, So they were like, no, if you don't, he's an authority.
Yeah.
And he was just an employee there. Yeah. But he saw them as an authority. And I was like, one day I was like, shh. I said, So I fought. I talked to the consul at the time. It was a woman.
Yeah.
She defended him. She defended him. She said, next time you come here, I will stand next to you. Instead of open an investigation or something, right? and said. Then I wrote a letter to the embassy.
Yeah.
I wrote a letter to the like the foreign affairs ministry
Okay. Yeah.
there, and but a bunch of letters to public figures there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was heard. And
Oh.
I contacted a lot of women who were victims of either sexual harassment or abuse of power. How you
Yeah.
say it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
I
that
mean,
word?
excessive abuse of power.
Excessive,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So he got kicked out.
Good.
But it was not after working hard because they were defending him so much
Yeah.
there. And so I talked to some woman and I said, "But you've seen it," because I knew they saw him. And they're like, "Oh, but he's like that." Because he was an older man. He was like, "Oh, that's the way he is."
We have to get to a place where we don't allow that.
Yes.
Because there are two sides of this. So there is that side where it's dirty and it's wrong and it's here in America it's criminal, right?
Yes.
I mean, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is, you do hear, boys will be boys. Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. Because there is still a culture that in heterosexual relationships, the man or boy, whatever, if they're young, has to be the one to initiate that contact, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they look across the room. You make eye contact. The guy's like, maybe there's a chance. I don't know. It has to be okay for that guy to come over and to be able to say, "Hi, I'm Johnny," introduce themselves and to try. And it's getting to where it's not okay to even try anymore. Because if that girl doesn't like that Johnny came over and introduced himself on a college campus, for example, on college, because Title IX, that's now illegal. That guy can get kicked out of school because he just wanted to introduce himself and ask for a date. And I'm like, wait, that's too far.
Yeah.
But then you also get guys that are like, they pretend, I'm John, I'm a nice guy. Hey, here's a drink, but there's drug in the drink.
Ugh.
And then we've got bigger issues, so you see both sides of that. And I'm just kind of like, I want to be, because I love accountability. I want to take the people who do the wrong and just maximum penalty. I mean, maximum penalty. Their life is ruined because they drugged the girl, they raped the girl, they did if you do the wrong, you're toast. No second chances. Like, get at it. Like, why do you need a second chance? Like, I don't understand. Oh, but people get better. Not on that. No.
It's like, that was stupid because I was younger and I wasn't thinking.
I mean, at what age is it ever okay? Right?
Everybody who does something wasn't thinking.
Right. I was just not thinking. No, not that. Not, when you harm some other people like that, I just can't get on board. Yeah.
Yeah.
But equally on the flip is if a woman falsely accuses a man, they should get maximum. Like, we've got to create, to me,
yeah,
we've got to create something to where.
I've seen that too.
Yeah.
And that's sad. And that's, I mean, not only that, that's sad. It's like, as a woman, to say that some other woman do, even not only that, wrongly accused of sexual abuse, but other things too. Other hurt themselves to accuse someone of being an abuser. Then when it really happens.
And like that's one. This is something that my wife and I talk about sometimes. Is that if you're in a relationship and the boyfriend or husband or whatever is abusive, right? In any way, this is me. Get out, leave. The first time, go.
Yeah.
Of true abuse. Everybody, man or woman and boy and child and adult and grandparent, all of them are going to have a bad day, and they may yell. They may say something. I mean, we're human, okay? But if somebody raises a hand or hits or strikes or does that, it doesn't get better. It never goes away. It goes from a push to a pin down to a choke to then a hit to then maybe a weapon. It never gets better.
Yeah.
Why can't women just go? I know I hear that. Oh, well, we're scared to leave. They may chase us. They may this. They may that. I'm like, go.
Well, sometimes they threaten somebody you love.
Yeah.
And that's something like my mother, for example. I was not living with my mother because my father knew about that. And so it was my stepfather who was the abuser.
Okay.
So he will threaten her with harming us. So she will stay there afraid
To
of,
try to protect you.
yes.
And just the.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, that was the thing. So it was hard.
See,
That's
this is evil. I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that. Like, that's who should get the drug, the date rape drug. Give that to the abuser. He passes out. Tie him up and call the police. I'm like,
Well, finally,
you know, I'm like,
yeah.
sorry.
Well, at a point, she was able to run one day, and then she came into our house where I was living with my father. My father and my mother had have a great relationship.
Okay.
So that's why he was jealous of my father. That was part of the problems.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he didn't like us to visit her, for example, because he thought we were bringing messages from my father.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
Right. That's a
Yeah.
problem.
Actually, that was part of my script when I wrote it.
Your monologue. Yeah.
Yeah, my monologue, exactly. Yes, because it
That's
was
crazy.
true. He was jealous of my dad, and so he would. One day we went to visit her, and she didn't tell him that we were there, but he saw us walking. He came earlier, and he saw us walking on the street, and I said, "What did you do today?" My mother was like, "Nothing. You just here. Nobody has come." No, lie.
You have to, but you know, like, it's just. I just wish. Now I know. Was that here or was that?
That was in
back home?
Ecuador.
Okay.
No, here would have been different.
Yeah, here
but
it'd be very different. You'd have more chance. There, it's tough. But here in America, it's like just go.
But there are some women here that are not that have not their status is not, they're not residents,
Yeah.
or they're
Well, yeah,
just in different
and
status.
that's another bad situation. It's like,
But there is a law that protects them.
Yeah.
That protects them.
Yeah.
Thems. Like
it
switching.
I know
That
what you're saying.
protects.
Well, and
them.
that's some of his. You keep hearing that as far as with people who are here, undocumented, illegal, whatever term you want to put, right?
Mhm.
That came across and shouldn't be here, overstay visa, just whatever.
Mhm.
They just keep saying that they're so afraid to come forward to police because they might get deported.
Yes.
And the federal laws don't work that way. They're
No,
safe.
There is a law that is it's called the Women's it's Violence Against Women's Act.
Yeah.
And it protects them for in case they're undocumented.
Yeah.
And they can speak up, and
There's no threat of deportation. There's no anything like that. And
I've heard of a case of I don't know her personally, but she was known by some of my friends. She went to a birthday party.
Mhm.
She came back home and late.
Yeah.
Her husband just stabbed her with a knife.
oh,
But she didn't die or anything. But
Yeah.
he was then I think he was going to be charged for it. But he killed before himself. He
killed himself.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just like,
Yeah.
we've got to stop all this. There's so many silly things because I am all about secure borders and I am really about all these types of things. But I'm
Yes.
kind of like, I'm also human. I don't want this bad crap to be happening to people. That's nonsense.
Yes.
And that's why that's why I wanted to say that as far as with the immigrants that are here, it's a totally different court system. So if they go and they report the crime of domestic violence or abuse, that's a whole system that doesn't talk to immigration.
Yes.
They don't talk to each other. They're safe. Like, I don't know how to get that to that community. It's like, you're totally safe. You're totally protected. What happens reporting the domestic violence doesn't in any way translate to immigration or homeland security or deportation.
Yes.
And they don't talk to each other.
Yeah.
Intentionally, they don't talk to each other because they don't want people to not report a crime because they're afraid of being deported.
And that was one of the things that I used to do in theater.
Okay.
This group is called Somos Todos. They used to have this they work with a nonprofit organization that protect women.
Yeah.
So that was one of the plays I was in.
Oh, okay. So
yes.
yeah.
So it was to promote that law as well, that to let them know that they're safe. They can speak up, and it was amazing to do it because it was to an audience of people who were victims of abuse, And I remember when I finished, the lady just stood up, and she was with her eyes tearing up, and she said, "Oh yeah," started saying how related she felt with it, and why women don't speak up. So
so it's doing good.
yes, that was a very nice thing to do. I mean, a nice play to be part of. To be able to share something positive and help. I wish I could help. One of the things I would like to do too is help women that are victims of domestic abuse through fitness. Because sometimes I see there is a good group of women who have their self-esteem
it's horrible.
Very low. And one of the things that fitness do is not just to get in shape. A lot of people think that exercising is just to get in shape.
Yeah, no.
It helps.
Of course it helps, but that's not.
It makes you strong physically and mentally.
Yeah.
So strength is the key, and you will become a strong person. You will never let anybody to put you down.
Exactly.
Changes you.
And I was with fitness. I was try to get this to people. Is it's your looks and fitness will happen. That should never be the goal. Because when you go and you just start being active, so you start being active, then you feel a little better, then you make a little bit better food choices, which means your exercise is a little better, which makes you feel a little better, so you eat better. So, and it just cycles and cycles and cycles. And then lo and behold, a couple months later, and then a year later, and 2 years later, you're a totally different person.
Yes.
You're more confident. You think better. Your body's healthier. You don't get sick as much. You sleep better. You do all of these things happen better. And then you go and you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, holy crap, I look better now. But so many people do it backwards.
Yes.
They're like, what's the fastest way I can look better?
Yeah.
Like, oh, stop it.
Yes. You don't know that until you are in the fitness industry.
Right.
I mean, if you, especially because I did it because I gained a little weight then there, and so I was trying to lose this weight, so I decided to work out, to lift, because that was the only thing that could change. I was doing more cardio because I teach Zumba.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was only doing Zumba 5 times a week, and eating healthy, but not results, so I decided to lift.
Yeah.
And then that was like, woof.
It changes quick.
And then a lot of people would come to me and like, oh, what are you doing? My students, people in the gym that knew me. So it was kind of a lot of people started joining the personal training program. So I decided to become a personal trainer and being able to help them. If I motivate them because they saw me changing, I thought I could do a good job helping them by being a personal trainer. And then I realized that it's more about strength than anything else, and functionality than the looks. Yeah. And so being able to see people of all kinds of levels and, different physicalities. They're like, they want to, in age.
Yes, age,
Yes. Then you see some, I have a client, she just said that once she wanted to put a box on top of a shelf and she could not do it. That's when she decided to join the personal training. It's functionality.
But that's how it is.
So she's not interested in looking like perfect. She's just interested in gaining strength. Yeah. And for women especially, we need to lift because our bones become weaker. Some ladies say, oh, I don't exercise because my bones hurt. I'm weak. That's why you need it.
You need it more. Exactly. Yes. It increases your quality of life.
Yes.
If your quality of life goes up, everything happens. I mean, you eat better, sleep better, rest better, think better, work better. Everything is better.
Yeah, I've heard also people say, I just want to live longer.
Yeah. That's one way to do it.
I love it. I love when I hear that. Yeah. It's not about, I want to look good, I want to lose this. No. Most, when they say, what are your goals? They're like, I want to tone my arms, my belly, my butt.
You're like, okay, where are you here? I have a wedding in 3 months.
Yes.
Oh, we're going to the beach in 2 months. Oh, get that out of here. Yes. Like, go away. Yes. Go to that person. I don't need it.
How can I look this? And then I'll see the part of, and there's like at the gym I work at, it's called gym. It's a cage.
Okay.
So I tell my clients, so the first thing I do is I put you in the cage. It's like where you learn. It's like a baby's cage. You learn to crawl here. Once you're ready to walk, then you go out to the machine, because I want to first see how the core is, build that core,
That's funny.
balance. So they have to learn how to crawl first, and then I take them out to the machines. Because I took once one of my clients out because I thought she was ready. She was asking me so much. I said, okay, let's go.
Really, no.
Not for you yet. Go back to the to your crib.
Go to the
Go to the
to the playpen.
Yes, the playpen. Have to learn how to crawl. So that's why I put it.
Yeah.
And I always tell the examples because it's hard for me to explain things, how to work their core, how to squeeze their glutes, their abs. So I tell them, think you have $100 bills on your butt. Okay. You don't want that bill to fall, right? If you lose that $100, then you have to pay for your back because you're so that's how I put it. Yeah, squats. Think of the dirtiest toilet in the an airplane toilet, whatever the
Hover.
worst. Yes, squats. So I try to make them think things, and they think about it, and that changes everything. It's fun. It's fun.
You're like
your belly. Think you have a diamond on your belly. You don't want to lose. Okay.
Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it works. That's good. Yeah,
works.
visual works. Yeah,
Yes.
that's hilarious.
That helps. I mean,
Yeah.
they laugh, but they do it.
They get you. Okay, so fitness side. Everybody's always like, fitness. You don't live, right? What's your favorite? What are some of your favorite cheat foods?
Pizza.
Pizza. Do you put? We make fun. My son has a friend, and they're from. I think they're from Mexico City. Not 100% sure. I'll say that, and I could be wrong, but whatever. Somewhere I'll say the Mexico City, but and he does the ranch all over his pizza. Do you do ranch on pizza?
No, never heard of it.
Okay, see?
Never heard of that. What?
I was like, wait, what? So I have a Lebanese friend who does ranch on pizza, and then we have the Hispanic friend. My son's Hispanic, and it does the ranch on the pizza, and they say it's normal.
Well, the other day I went to a pizza place where you kind of build your own pizza.
Yes.
And so I saw that pizza there, the name, and it was like Mexican something or chipotle or I don't know, chicken something. Yeah. And I ordered that one because it had cilantro. I like cilantro. It was something different, so I said, but it has ranch, and I didn't like it. I was like,
oh, so you're like, okay, so you even just take it off.
Yeah.
So maybe it is. Is it a Hispanic thing? I don't know.
Maybe Tex-Mex, maybe.
Maybe Tex-Mex. Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
I think Tex-Mex.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things, but
Spanglish style pizza.
Yeah.
I don't know what the. I was like, what the hell? I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I think Spanglish. Yeah, but no, I like pizza. That's my favorite cheat meal.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Well, I like dining out too, but yeah.
And I know people are making fun of me on this, but a friend of mine are working on a pizza concept. So doing a pizza restaurant and doing the whole thing and a little bit different. I can't say what because it's actually different.
Yes.
So it's generally traditional pizzas that we do little tweaks to them to enhance your pizza experience.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll tell you when we push stop.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's really good.
Yeah.
So we've done all the tests. We've done several test doughs, and then we did 4 or 5 test pizzas, and 5 whatever, several of those. So now we're ready. We've got the recipes and we're going.
Oh, that's so cool.
I know.
Yeah.
I still don't understand the ranch thing though.
No.
I'm gonna have to talk to some people.
Yeah, no.
I'll do that. Yeah.
Well, people like it.
I know.
Otherwise, it would not be on that menu, I guess.
They're everywhere.
So I've never.
And they're all doing good.
Now that that was the first time. Now that you said, I remember that I had that, and I just try to take away that.
But even on the menu, it was like either Mexican style or something. It was that direction.
Yeah, I think so. No, I don't. I have to go there and see, but I don't remember exactly what it was. But
I know I gotta ask more people.
But chipotle something there
with ranch.
With ranch.
But I'm like, oh,
that's too much, too rich.
Yeah,
I think it's too rich.
Because pizza's heavy anyway. All the cheese and all the things you don't need the.
What's your favorite pizza flavor?
So I like to have the mixed thing. So I like either as a base green olives or pepperoncini peppers. Because I like the tang, and then Italian sausage, because I like a spicier Italian sausage, and then like a Canadian bacon to give it a hint of sweet. So you're getting the 3 ranges of flavor all in one.
Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of mine. I like a variety of that. All of the vegetables on it and stuff, I don't. I just think if I could get a finely diced onions, I want that, but I don't want big chunks.
Yes.
Because the big chunks take away from the flavor. So I want something that's like diced or minced into the pizza,
Yeah.
so you can get the flavor without being the chunks. I don't like the chunks of the vegetables.
Yeah. I like if I go to any small chain restaurant or order pizza online with delivery.
Yes.
I would get pepperoni pizza or cheese.
Okay.
But I like pepperoni pizza. And I was not a fan lately. I've become more of a fan of a pepperoni pizza.
Okay.
But usually, if I go to a restaurant, Italian restaurant, and I crave for pizza, I will go for the margherita pizza because I like buffalo mozzarella.
Yeah.
Just to think about it.
But even that, with some of the spices, it's a little bit more of a tang because they'll put rye and sometimes lemon and sometimes cilantro and sometimes it depends on the restaurant. But yeah, I'm thinking about pizza now. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So what are you, a thick dough, thin dough, crunchy crust? What
Depending on the pizza.
Okay.
That too.
That's smart. That's a good answer. That was a test. Like, because somebody's like, I love pizza. See, then that's how you know if they love pizza.
Yeah, it's depending on the pizza. If it was like the margherita that I'm talking about, I like thin crust.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Because the thicker crust takes away from the...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, I know these things.
The buffalo mozzarella.
Look at you.
I'm salivating.
So what I'll do is once we're done, I'll give you the map to the closest pizza place. There's one right around the corner. You just sit
I just did that the weekend cheat meal. So you don't get pizza.
Yeah.
So no.
I know.
Done with that.
I love it. It's so awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we're there. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
It goes quick.
Wah, wah, wah.
I know. It goes quick. So I look forward to your YouTube channel of you reading children's books.
Yeah,
that's going to start. Everyone, that'll be out November 1st.
Oh my God!
Say that. It's not really.
That's good because you held me accountable. So.
See, November 1st, the first one is out for the holidays.
Yeah.
Kids will be out of school. They need to be read to.
No, but now there are some that are not in school yet, and they need that too.
Well, they need it now, yeah. So you could, you could have the first one in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's just toot, toot, toot. That's right. See.
Yes.
I have good ideas. I just can't implement it. So you can implement it. You and your brother. You just see, we're good.
Or maybe just podcast.
Or podcast too. I like the idea of the Black White podcast.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys need to do that.
Yes.
Here, you need to do it in the safety of here in America, though. Don't go back.
Yeah,
and do that. Stir the pot.
But my friend, she's so busy. That's why I haven't been able to get to. She's a realtor and she does lots of volunteer work. So she's busy with all that. She does events.
You could just nail it down. I'll show you when we're done. You just get the little lav mics, these. You get 2 of them each. I have one. The phone records in HD.
Yeah, I have one of those.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need. And a little stand.
Yeah. I do have the stand. I have the equipment and everything.
You got it.
Other room.
And she's a realtor, so you can go meet her at a vacant house. There's your studio, right?
No, I do have a studio at home.
Well, you have that too, but even if she's like, oh, I'm busy, I have to hear.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So
be like, oh, I will meet you there.
Yes.
See? Eliminate the excuses.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Nice.
Yeah, see? Hustle. I heard you say that earlier.
Yes.
I heard it. I think you said it twice back to back. Yes. Got to hustle, got to hustle.
Hustle.
See, hustle. See, I heard it.
Yeah.
So now we're going to test that.
Yeah.
You got to get out there and do it. Yeah.
Accountable.
Yeah. So congrats on the film. That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
I know it's
Lion Killer coming soon.
Coming soon.
Yeah, and
I think before the holidays is what Derek said.
No.
Right before I think definitely before New Year's because he wants to get it into the circuit of the independent films. So pressure on Derek before New Year's.
Ooh, Derek. We all want to see it. I'm dying to see the final product because I've been seeing snippets.
Yeah. Final product is always so much better.
Of course. And it's fun to go there because you don't know. You did your part and then you don't know what's in it. So it's really...
Like, yeah.
Even if you're in the entire production...
Oh,
how they put it, and then you see the eyes of the director and producer, the writer, how he saw it, how he...
That's awesome.
And that's the best part, to see that becoming a reality. Yeah. That's one of the things I would like to do right.
See, I'm really good at I can write the story, and then I would have to have somebody write the script. Because the script writing frustrates me because it's so fragmented and so... Like I don't see it that way. Like it's not I just can't visualize it that way.
Yeah.
And then so that's my hang up because I have a lot of ideas and throughout my life I've led a lot of fun stories. I want to do short and independent films.
Yeah, me too.
I would love it. I don't want to pay somebody to write the scripts.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So it's like I've got to get past that
there are
obstacle.
programs to do that, to write scripts.
Yeah, I mean, I have it, but it's just that style. It doesn't. I've got to work on that in my mind.
Yeah, we'll just yes, as you go, you got the idea of your scene, how it looks like. Put it there, description there, and then I bet and it is hard. It is hard.
And I want to make. And this is so bad. I want to make fun of fight scenes. So I want to take fight scenes from movies, and then break them down and show why it was wrong, but film it the right way. Does that make sense? Obviously, some of the cinematography wouldn't be there. Some of the background
amazing.
And stuff.
That's
really
a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea because I've
Create
seen
some hate in the industry.
You're like, really?
This is not even like what?
Yeah.
They did. Okay, last thing, and then we'll go. I'm like, they did that. They had a major fight scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a show that I was watching. We all know because I'm only watching one show, but I can't say it because I'm slamming them. So a show that I'm watching, they did a flashback years and years before, and when they've done previous flashbacks to that time, they were clean shaven and bald and things of this nature. But in the major fight scene that happened in that time frame, they weren't. One had the beard and the hair, and the other one all the hair, and I'm like, crap. That was me at the show. I'm like, watching. I'm like, it actually was a good fight scene. It actually did really well with that whole scene, but it was just the fact that they weren't right.
Yes.
I'm like, how do you miss that?
Yes.
Like,
they probably realizing they're like, whatever.
Well, and my thing is like either
they didn't have time.
Right.
To
but
do
that's probably what it was.
Yeah,
They're like,
the 30,
we're
the
past
3
budget.
yes.
Yeah. Dang it.
The,
I'm like,
the 3 minutes.
Film it last, right?
I mean, 3%.
And shave them down and just do that scene last. Save everything to that scene and shave. I'm like,
yeah, I like. You know what I like to see when every time I see somebody eating.
Yeah.
In a movie, I look at their plate or everything to see how much water they have.
It's
so funny.
It changes so much.
Yeah, when they're eating ice cream.
They will screw up, and sometimes it looks like a Coke, and then it's a tea, and then it's water, and then it's like orange juice. And you're like,
I've not seen that.
You watch, especially some of the lower budget ones. Watch, they will
the
mess
ice cream
up.
one is my favorite. They're eating ice cream. First is like they're finishing the ice cream, and then there's again.
And it's like different sizes every single time. You're like, guys, come on, man, that's too easy. Just get close, because I know it'll melt. Well, whatever.
Switch ice cream,
right?
But they're out of budget. Buy an ice cream looking ice cream.
They make them, they make them literally. They make them with a pocket in the back that you could put ice cream. So if they lick it, it looks like they're getting ice cream, but nothing else changes.
Yeah.
I've seen them. I've seen the props. They look awesome.
Yeah, or fake food. Oh, I did one commercial once when we have to eat.
Food? Oh, I hate that. Yeah,
and there was a bucket for us to spit off. Yeah,
because you don't want to eat it all. Because 25, 30 takes of you taking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen them make fake salads and stuff? How they do it?
Oh.
Where the guys drop in different colors and textures of wax and boiling waters and things and do. Oh, it's awesome! You have to do a YouTube search. Yeah. Say making fake salads, making fake foods, fake salads. It's crazy.
Oh.
Because you watch each segment and does it and drops dye and does all this stuff and you're like, holy crap! Because you see all the steps go up to it and you see the final product. It's amazing.
Wow.
You got to look at that.
I saw lady showing lettuce on a video that she takes the plastic out of.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
That's crazy. I know. There's some weird YouTube's awesome.
Yeah, we're eating.
I know.
What are we eating?
I know.
People.
Like, nonsense. Like, no, but thank you for coming on. It's awesome.
Thank you for
having
having
a good time.
me. Yeah, me too. I had a great time.
It was good.
I can't wait to see Lion Killer.
I know.
Everybody.
It's coming soon. Yes. And rent a Spanish speaker.
Yes.
I love that. That's like
rent
makes me
me.
laugh. I know you're like, yes, rent me. It's
Rent
good.
me.
So everybody, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Robert De Niro's girl. And the Robert De Niro girl. Sorry, I had to say it that way. Yes, awesome. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. Enjoy it. Peace.
Bye.
Okay, don't say anything crazy. We're not off yet.